like, again, I'm hopeful for the guys that are, listen to this as their first time head coaches and, when they get into next year, man, don't rush this, in terms of the hiring process. Sometimes it could be like, I got to get this done. I got to get this guy here. I got to get this guy here. Man, it's so important to get it right, not get it done quickly. And by getting it done right, it means first part, keep some vetting, of some people that you would trust to say, tell me about his experience with the team. It may be asking a former player, what was it like in the classroom? What was it like on game day? And so I think you want to make sure when you're interviewing people, you want to be consistent with the questions of how you're going to do things. So talk me through an example when it was hard and you had to make a change. Give me an example when, another staff member had an idea and you thought, completely differently. How did you, resolve that conflict? Because as you guys know, like in football, there's going to be adversity that comes. There's going to be a game that's lost. There's going to be a player that gets injured and somebody has to step into that gap. There's going to be somebody disappointed in playtime or involvement. And so how does that person respond in those areas, I think, is a really big piece of it. If there was a way, and I've done this before, where when you bring somebody in, go get changed, put sweats on, and go out onto the field. Because if you really want to get the measure of a coach, you need to get on the grass. These players are physical learners. And so that's the most important teaching that we're going to do is on the field. Where do their eyes go at practice so they can give somebody feedback quickly and not have to wait until they go inside, and watch the video playback. If we're not able to give the player immediate feedback after the play or, a play or two later, then we're really cheating them. And so that's an example of finding the right people, to go. I also think it's important, like, they don't have to be a clone of yourself. I wouldn't want to hire everybody who, talked and had the same beliefs I did. I think having other opinions, a different point of view, another perspective, I think is super important. So you don't have to have had worked with the person. And I imagine both of you and everybody on this call, we've had great friends that we never worked with until that time that we started together. And so you don't always need, well, I've worked with them, I've worked with him. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a leap of faith knowing that there'd be good alignment, but you don't always see it exactly the same. I think that's okay. But at the end of it, you do know once we leave a meeting, there could be a disagreement or a difference of opinion, but this is how we move forward together. And I think those are the examples that I want to find out in the interview. Tell me about a conflict. Tell me about when things went wrong. Because the good parts, they roll easily. But in our game, there's going to be tough moments that are going to come up where a coach had to be let go on a staff. How did that person feel during that? A disagreement. I want to find out about an evaluator. So generally I put some film on and say, hey, would you write up this player and maybe give them 2 or 3 different players to look at and just have their opinion? Because in coaching, I think there's like 4 big pillars, Keith. It's teaching, and that's, player to player, could be player to a whole group. There's communication, player to coach, coach to coach. As you're going through the evaluation piece, it's the opponent, it's your own team to go to. And the last one is planning. I think the best of the best coaches, this is how I game plan, this is how I plan for practice. These are the things to do. So those 4 pillars, to me, I think the best of the best coaches have.